Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, let's put our Russian filters on because I'm going to use a Russian media outlet, an article from Sputnik. If I use an article from Ukrainska Pravda, put the Ukrainian filters on. In this case, as I said, Russian filters on. This article comes from Sputnik from today, the 24th of December 2022. Russian troops eliminate composite group of foreign mercenaries in Donetsk People's Republic. So according to the Russians, they blew up some foreign mercenaries or something. Let's find out. Now, the Russian armed forces eliminated a composite tactical group of foreign mercenaries in the direction of the city of Donetsk and hit the units of Ukraine's 10th Mountain Assault Brigade in the Donetsk People's Republic, DPR, the Russian Defense Ministry said on Saturday. If true. Remember, always, and this is what the Russians say. If you ask the Ukrainians, they're going to say, what? Anyway, let's quote what the Ministry of Defense says here, I'm guessing. Russian troops eliminated a composite tactical group of foreign mercenaries during offensive operations in the Donetsk direction and defeated units of the 10th Mountain Assault Brigade of Ukraine's armed forces in the area of the village of Rozdolivka in the Donetsk People's Republic, the ministry said in a statement. Up to 60 Ukrainian military personnel and mercenaries, as well as 4 armored vehicles and 3 pickup trucks were irrevocably destroyed by Russian troops in the combat area alone, the ministry specified. Irrevocably. I think that's how you pronounce it. Close. Anyway, you know what I mean. You don't come back. It goes that way, done. Anyway, so this is what they say. Mercenaries. I have no doubt that mercenaries are on both sides of the conflict, and I'm very much inclined to say that NATO, however you want to call them, troops, contractors, are on the territory of Ukraine, supporting the Ukrainian army with certain kind of, they say advice, but I do not think they're just advising. I think they're also operating. For example, the HIMARS units, systems, I think they operate those. But hey, when the Russians will blow them up or blew them up, I wonder where those caskets came, or the the plastic bags or whatever, body bags came. Probably United States, I'm guessing. Anyway, the United States promised to give, and promise already is a done deal, signed, that United States will provide, I think, 1 Patriot system battery, which I think is worth $1 billion. That's what I found in an article. Now I don't know if that's true or not. It sounds a lot, but hey, you never know with these guys. Since they have a monopoly on the unit, they can ask how much they want, and we gonna pay because they said so. So those Patriot missile systems, air defense systems, the batteries, not kind of that kind of batteries, they will be operated most likely by the Americans. The Americans deny that. They say they will train the Ukrainians. We'll find out. Hey, after all, let them operate them. When they're gonna die, I don't know, after a few years, we're gonna find out that in secret during the nighttime, some airplanes coming from Europe brought some dead people, and shush, you know what I mean? But anyway, if they decide to do that, what are they gonna do about it? It is what it is, right? The thing is, these guys kill some mercenaries. Mercenaries are everywhere. I mean, it would be idiotic to say or to claim that there is no mercenaries involved in any war. I mean, they're crazy people, or not crazy people, but people that have they don't have another life than that. That's all they know how to do and what to do. And they're not gonna, I don't know, become truck drivers or, I don't know, accountants or engineers or anything like that. This is what they know. That's their job. And then they want to fight fight at different areas. I used to know some people who were involved in the French Foreign Legion, and they finished their I can't remember, it was you have to finish the first one, the first deployment of 4 years, 5 years, and then in order to get to be allowed to have citizenship, French citizenship that they were looking for, you have to do extend your contract for, I don't know, about 1.5 years, 2 years, and then after that you're free. Now those people that I knew, I don't know them anymore, this is what they did. They got hired. They looked for jobs in different countries, and African countries, and wherever there was needed, they looked for jobs for military, private military organizations, however we want to call them, like a Blackwater or Wagner group. Now that we all know about Wagner, but we forgot about the other ones that started it. And not started it, because I think this was something that was before, but not recognized as, hey, you can come to Iraq and provide security, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, and they get the money out of that, and they expose and they take a chance, because they say, I get the money and this is my life. So it's a high risk, obviously, but that's all they want to do, and that's what they're good at. So that's like a job opportunity. And since we have globalism now being the main dogma here in on this planet, or at least it's pushed for, these people will find that as a job, and they get paid and go and do their job, and some of them bye-bye, some of them get some money. They don't get rich, just so you know. These people do not get rich. They have a good life, better probably than you and I, but I don't know your styles. But I remember in when it was the Iraq War, and the Blackwater was paying then, if I remember correctly, about $200,000 a year. That was the salary of a Blackwater contractor. Now, I don't remember, 250, 220, somewhere around that. I remember that they said that in some articles that I was reading then. So if there was let's say $200,000 then, now, after so many years, decades, right, must be, I don't know, $400,000, $300,000 a year. It's a lot, but then remember, you risk your life over there versus, I don't know, going to work in your engineering job. It's true that once you jump in a car and go on the freeway, you are exposing yourself to death right there. So maybe you are more exposed every day than a mercenary just by driving. Or take a truck driver. A truck driver drives the truck, right? If he's sleeping, falling asleep for, I don't know, a few, maybe 10 seconds, then he's going to be dead. So actually, the guy is more, how should I put it, prone to accident, dying, than a mercenary. Because a truck driver drives every day, I don't know, 10 hours, 8 hours, something like that. If you take one little mistake, you run out with that semi-truck out, you're done. Well, the mercenary goes this, how long, how much time from mercenary's time he's exposed to death? This much? A truck driver is this much, because that's his job. And the rest, he sleeps, eats, and whatever he does. But his job that he's involved in, which is driving, almost 100% of the time he's at risk of dying. A mercenary is not. Well, that's how it is. We just look at the military, the heroes, they're heroes. They go over there and they risk their lives. A truck driver, I think, risks his life, I would say, more often than a guy who goes in the military and stays at the bases over there. He goes over there, does some training, because all those times when he's over there, he's not exposed to action. When you're exposed into an operation, then that's when you jump on the seat and you start driving as a truck driver. Until then, no. I don't want to minimize anybody. I was just giving an example about these mercenaries that we will always have them, because there's going to be the demand and the supply will be there. And I don't blame them. You can't eradicate them as you can't eradicate weapons. Even though these weasels are thinking like children, thinking that if they disarm a population, there will be no more weapons. The Japanese tried, if you remember, in the medieval time, when they allowed only the samurai, right, the warriors, the soldiers to wear katanas, swords, and not the peasants being afraid of a little revolution, if you know, uprising. And what did those guys do? The peasants, they learn how to use the sai, they use the, you know, all the whatever, the sickle, the bow. That's how the martial arts evolved by necessity. That's how jiu-jitsu and, you know, judo evolved after that. But I'm saying about martial arts in general. They started inventing, okay, I have a phone. How in the fuck I'm going to use the phone to defend myself? I'm going to use it like this. I'm going to use it like this. I'm going to use it like this. I'm going to throw it. I'm going to block with it. You know, you do all kind of, you do it because you don't have the weapons. So the same. You take the guns away. The bad guys will have the guns like always, but the good population will not have the guns. So what are they going to do? Adjust. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.